हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू मनी लॉ क्लासेस। मेरा नाम गौतम दीक्षित है, जीके एंड करंट अफेयर्स फैकल्टी। इन टुडेज वीडियो वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस द नवंबर 26 द डेली हिंदू एनालिसिस. So some of the important news today are that the first is that the three-rate GST structure has been recommended by the group of ministers headed by the Karnataka Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai. Then we will also look at the National Family Health Survey 5, some of the important data which has come up. It is the continuation of what we have earlier done, and then we are also going to see some news related to the tensions going on in the English Channel between France and England. And then on the economics, we will be seeing that China has not given any commitment on releasing the crude oil for softening the prices in the international market. Now न्यूज़ की तरफ चलते हैं. द फर्स्ट न्यूज़ टुडे इज दैट नाउ द गवर्नमेंट इज गोइंग टू रिविजिट द इनकम क्राइटेरिया फॉर EWS कोटा. व्हाट इज द फुल फॉर्म ऑफ EWS? इकोनॉमिक एंड इकोनॉमिकली वीकर सेक्शंस कोटा. तो यहाँ पे हम देखेंगे. सो देयर वाज 103rd कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट इन 2019 which provided for the 10% reservation in educational institutions for economically weaker sections under the Article 15 of the Constitution. But the Supreme Court had earlier said that on what criteria ये जो 8 लाख का जो इनकम है, तो EWS कोटा का जो एनुअल इनकम है that is ₹8 lakh. So Supreme Court had said that on what basis this ₹8 lakh as the criteria for giving EWS quota has been decided. So now the Union government has informed the Supreme Court that it has taken a considered decision to revisit the criteria for determining economically weaker sections and to provide them reservation. Now the background of this case is the court, it was hearing a case which was filed by NEET aspirants, medical aspirants. They had already challenged a July 29 notification of the central government which has announced 27% quota to OBCs and 10% reservations to EWS in all India quota category. तो यहाँ पे क्या हुआ था कि ऑल इंडिया कोटा जो होता है मेडिकल सीट्स के, उसमें पहले ओबीसी रिजर्वेशन ऑफ 27% जो 93rd अमेंडमेंट एक्ट में प्रोवाइड किया गया था, एंड EWS कोटा विच वाज प्रोवाइडेड अंडर 103rd अमेंडमेंट एक्ट टू द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, इट वाज आल्सो एक्सटेंडेड टू ऑल इंडिया कोटा ऑफ मेडिकल सीट्स. नाउ व्हाट इज दिस EWS कोटा? So the EWS quota is meant for persons who have earned less than ₹8 lakh annually and they did not benefit from any other existing reservations. For example, there are reservations for SCs, HTs and OBC. वो वहाँ पे बेनिफिट नहीं ले रहे हैं और उनका इनकम 8 लाख के नीचे है. The second important thing is 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act which inserted an amendment to Article 15 that is that economically weaker sections they will be provided reservation in educational institutions including private educational institutions, aided and unaided both, subject to the 10%, and the minority institutions were not included in it. The next is 3-rate GST structure. तो 45th GST काउंसिल हुआ था लखनऊ में. वहाँ पे 2 ग्रुप ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स सेटअप किए गए थे. One was the group of ministers under the Karnataka Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai, and the aim of this was to suggest rate rationalization of goods and services tax. The second was the group of ministers under Ajit Pawar, the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and the committee was going to suggest changes in business process and IT system to plug revenue leakage in GST. तो यहाँ पे जो पहला group of ministers था which was under Baswaraj Bommai, it has given its rate that instead of current GST rate structure of 5%, 12%, 8% and 28%, we should have 3 structures: 8%, okay, then 15% and then 30%. Okay, so from 4 slabs to only 3 slabs. Now ये जो रिकमेंडेशन है, इट इज़ बेस्ड ऑन द स्टडी ऑफ नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ पब्लिक फाइनेंस एंड पॉलिसी. नाउ अगर हम नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ पब्लिक फाइनेंस एंड पॉलिसी का अगर हम रिपोर्ट डिस्कस करें, तो यहाँ पे एक इशू है. दैट इशू इज दैट इफ 12% एंड 8% GST रेट्स आर मर्ज, देन द टैक्स रेट शुड anything lower than 18% will result in revenue loss to the states. The study had proposed that GST Council may consider a three-rate structure by adopting 8%, 5% and 30% for revenue neutrality. मतलब ये जो 5% जो सबसे लोवेस्ट रेट है 5%, इसको बाई 3% बढ़ा के इसको 8% कर दो, देन 12% और 8% को मर्ज करके 15% कर दो, एंड 28% को इसको भी बढ़ा के 30% कर दो, ताकि स्टेट्स को रेवेन्यू लॉस ना हो. नाउ इफ यू विल सी the rate in the GST since its introduction in July 2017, the effective GST rate is 11.6%. इफेक्टिव मतलब ये चारों को मिला के अगर हम इफेक्टिव GST रेट्स देखेंगे तो वो 11.6% है, और अगर हम रेवेन्यू न्यूट्रल रेट देखेंगे तो वो 15.5% होना चाहिए था. रेवेन्यू न्यूट्रल रेट का मतलब कि GST का वो रेट जिससे स्टेट्स को रेवेन्यू लॉस ना हो. क्यों? क्योंकि गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज टैक्स has subsumed the indirect taxes of center and states, but currently it is 11.6%, so it is the loss to state. That's why the National Institute of Public Finance and Policy had recommended that the rate structure should be like कि 5% को 8% करो, 12% और 18% को merge करके 15% करो, और जो 28% है on demerit goods it should be increased to 30%. The next important is that who headed this group of ministers from exam point of view. So it was headed by Karnataka Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai. The next is rupees 10,000 crore has been allocated for Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. तो हमने कल एडिटोरियल में पढ़ा था when we were discussing about the unemployment. So over here less financial allocation to MGNREGS in this budget has been one of the reasons for rising unemployment in the country. Now also there was a news that there is a negative balance in Maganrega and the payments are being delayed. Now the finance ministry has allocated the additional fund of rupees 10,000 crore as an interim measure for Maganrega. Now एक वन लाइनर न्यूज़ है. इस टाइप के जो कैची न्यूज़ होते हैं वो एलेक्ट में काफ़ी आते हैं. So there is a panchayat in Ernakulam, okay, so which has slapped fine on owners who let their animals roam the street. Okay, so over here cattle owners who let that happen means letting their animals roam the streets. A hamlet that is called as near Aluva in Ernakulam district will they have to pay the fine for it. The next is Business Blaster. What is this Business Blaster? So this is the program of Delhi government. So it is a platform that prepares government school students to become job creators instead of job seekers, and it is the world's biggest startup program. It is going to start on 28th November. Now Assam Mizoram to increase border fencing. So a few months back we had done a border dispute between Assam and Mizoram. So Assam and Mizoram, they share 164 kilometer border. Over here the issue is about the Lushai Hills in Mizoram, and according to the inner line permit under the act of the Britishers. So Mizoram and Assam, they have the different interpretation of the boundaries, which had led to the clashes. Now Assam and Mizoram chief minister, they have decided to increase the fencing along their interstate border, which is 164 kilometer long. Now the next is the two chief ministers, they met to resolve their boundary disputes after the intervention of Union Home Ministry. Now यहाँ पे कुछ फैक्चुअल न्यूज़ देखते हैं. तो who is the chief minister of Assam and who is the chief minister of Mizoram. So the chief minister of Assam is Himanta Biswa Sarma and the chief minister of Mizoram is Zoram Thanga. Now this is the new airport, the Jewar airport in Noida. So over here the government has said that now this airport is going to serve as the multimodal transport hub in northern region, and there will be a connectivity with the railway corridor, expressway, metro connectivity and dedicated flight corridors over here. The very important news of today is Scorpion class submarine INS Vela joins the Navy. तो यहाँ पे हम देखेंगे द फोर्थ स्कॉर्पियन क्लास कन्वेंशनल सबमरीन. कन्वेंशनल सबमरीन को हम डीजल इलेक्ट्रिक सबमरीन भी कह सकते हैं, द डीजल इलेक्ट्रिक सबमरीन. नाउ द फोर्थ स्कॉर्पियन क्लास सबमरीन INS Vela was commissioned into the Navy in the presence of Chief of the Naval Staff Admiral Karambir Singh. Now Karambir Singh is going to retire and a new Navy officer is going to assume the charge of Chief of the Naval Staff? Please write the name in the comment box. Now, Vela, the importance of Vela. So it has taken the Make in India spirit a notch higher with the fitment of indigenized battery cells. Now about the INS Vela. So अगर हम INS Vela की बात करें, so it is the part of 6 Scorpene submarine project which is being built under Project 75 by Mazagon Dock Limited in Mumbai. Now these submarines are being built under technology transfer from Naval Group of France under a deal signed in October 2015. Now INS Vela is the 4th Scorpene class submarine. The other 3 are INS Kalvari, which was commissioned in December 2017, INS Khanderi, which was commissioned in 2019, INS Karanch, which was inducted in March 2021. 4th is INS Vela, the 5th is INS Vagir, and the 6th is INS Vagshe. Now this Scorpene class submarine, they will be fitted up with air independent propulsion modules, okay, which has been designed in India by DRDO. Now the next is about Navy has requested the proposal for procurement of 6 advanced submarine under Project 75I. I का मतलब होता है इंडिया. तो एक प्रोजेक्ट 75 है जहाँ पे स्कॉर्पिन क्लास सबमरीन्स बनना है. एक 30 साल का सबमरीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्लान है. एक प्रोजेक्ट 75I है जहाँ पे 6 एडवांस सबमरीन्स का प्रोक्योरमेंट होने वाला है. ओके, नेवी का एक 30 ईयर सबमरीन बिल्डिंग प्रोग्राम है, दैट इज प्रोजेक्ट 75 एंड प्रोजेक्ट 75I. नाउ व्हाट इज द future calling of the Navy? So Navy, it intends to design and build conventional submarines indigenously. Now Project 75I is going to be the last time when Indian Navy is going to take the assistance of any foreign companies, and after that India will be designing its own submarine. Now about INS Vela. So Vela, it is named after a type of Indian fish belonging to stingray family. Now the submarine's mascot is Subray, which is made of 2 words, submarine and stingray. Then INS Vela, it is a new INS Vela. It carries forward the legacy of its namesake, that is erstwhile Vela, which was commissioned on August 31, 1973 as the lead of Vela class submarine, and it was decommissioned on January 25, 2010. Now let's see how many submarines India has. So Navy currently has 16 conventional submarines and 1 nuclear submarine, that is total 17. Now it includes 8 Russian Kilo class submarine, 4 German HDW submarine, 4 French Scorpion submarine, and 1 indigenously built nuclear ballistic missile submarine, INS Arihant. The next nuclear ballistic missile submarine will be INS Arighat. So this is the very important news for today. अर्लियर हमने INS विशाखापट्टनम के बारे में भी किया था, दैट इज अंडर प्रोजेक्ट 15B, एंड 4 missile destroyer frigates is to be inducted. Out of that, the first is INS Visakhapatnam, the other 3 is INS Surat, INS Imphal, and INS Mormugao. The next is about National Family Health Survey. So over here the National Family Health Survey में हम कुछ आज फिर से इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स देखेंगे. हमने कल भी इसको देखा था, नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे, एंड टुडे इट विल बी कंटिन्यूएशन ऑफ दैट. सो नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे, द 5th एडिशन. सो इट इज शोइंग द हेल्थ इंडिकेटर्स ऑफ 2017 to 19. कल हमने किया था कि द बर्थ इन इंस्टीट्यूशनल फैसिलिटीज हैज़ इम्प्रूव्ड बाय नियरली 8%, एंड percentage of children stunted or wasted has decreased by 3 percentage point. Then we also looked at total fertility rate of India, which is currently 2. Earlier it was 2.2. The ideal is 2.1, which is also called as replacement ratio. The urban TFR, that is total fertility rate, is 1.6, and the rural TFR is 2.1. Now today some of the important figures are that there is a sign of demographic shift happening. Now if you will just see, this survey has shown that for every 1000 men we have 1020 women. Now there are 23 states and union territory which have sex ratio greater than 100. Then if you will just see sex ratio at birth, in the past 5 years it has improved from 909 per 1000 male to 929 per 1000 male this time. Then if you will just see that the states which have few women than men, मतलब जहाँ पे sex ratio 1000 से कम है, so these states are, as you can see in the map also, गुजरात, महाराष्ट्र, अरुणाचल प्रदेश, हरियाणा, मध्य प्रदेश, पंजाब, यूनियन टेरिटरी ऑफ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, चंडीगढ़, दिल्ली, अंडमान एंड निकोबार आइलैंड्स, दादरा एंड नगर हवेली एंड लद्दाख. Okay, but though the sex ratio is less than 1000, but there is definitely a sign of improvement. Then if you will just see the total fertility rate, which is 2, but there are some states where the total fertility rate is more than 2.1. So if you will see the states like Bihar, Meghalaya, Manipur, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, they have a TFR above 2. And if you will just see Bihar has a TFR of 3, but earlier the TFR was 3.4. Now the next is about the most populous country. So India is still poised to be the most populous country in the world. Now the United Nations Population Division has stated that the India's population will peak at 1.6 billion to 1.8 billion from 2040 to 2050. उसके बाद एक गवर्नमेंट का खुद का एक रिपोर्ट है जिसमें the report says that India is going to overtake China to become the world's most populous country around 2021. अब यहाँ पे हम एक स्टेट की बात करेंगे, केरला की. हमारा नॉर्मल अंडरस्टैंडिंग होता है कि केरला में जितने भी डेमोग्राफिक फिगर्स या परसेंटेज होते हैं वो बहुत अच्छे होते हैं. बट नाउ सी व्हाट द नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे इज सेइंग. नाउ इफ यू विल जस्ट सी अबाउट द केरला, सो द टोटल फर्टिलिटी रेट इन केरला हैज़ इंक्रीज्ड, डिक्रीज होना चाहिए बट इंक्रीज हुआ है टू 1.8. उसके बाद सेक्स रेशियो ऑफ चिल्ड्रन बॉर्न इन द पास्ट 5 years जो है वो भी डिक्लाइन हुआ है. देन if you will just see number of females per 1000 males, so in 2015-16 it was 1047, but now it is 951 per 1000 males. Now about anemia. So अब यहाँ पे नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे ने बताया कि इंडिया में एनीमिया जो है वो बढ़ते ही जा रहा है. सो नाउ इफ यू विल जस्ट सी that anemia in children had increased from 58.6% to 67%. Okay, anemia in pregnant women, it has increased to 52.2%, and the percentage of women who were anemic also increased from 53 to 57%. Then the percentage of men aged 15 to 49, they are also anemic, and it has increased from 22% to 25%. Now सेंटर का ऑलरेडी एक एनीमिया को कम करने का एक प्रोग्राम है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एनीमिया मुक्त भारत और एनीमिया फ्री इंडिया. इसके जो टारगेट्स हैं, दैट इज टू रिड्यूस द प्रपोर्शन ऑफ एनीमिया अमंग चिल्ड्रन टू 40%, प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन में 32%, लैक्टेटिंग वुमेन में 40%. नाउ व्हाट इज एनीमिया? एनीमिया लो लेवल ऑफ आयरन की वजह से होता है, एंड इट इज़ ऑल्सो द रिजल्ट ऑफ लैक ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन, inadequate intake of fresh fruits and vegetables, as well as deficiency of विटामिन B12. अब यहाँ पे जो सेंटर है ये 2 स्टेप्स लेने वाली है. व्हाट इज दैट 2 स्टेप्स? फर्स्ट इज दैट सेंटर प्लान्स टू चेंज द मोड ऑफ टेस्टिंग ऑफ एनीमिया, एंड सेकेंड, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट इज गोइंग टू इनिशिएट डिस्कशन विद वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन टू डिटरमाइन वेदर रेशियल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इज ऑल्सो रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर एनीमिया. द नेक्स्ट इज अबाउट द अपॉइंटमेंट. सो CBI Special Director Praveen Sinha, okay, he has been elected as a delegate for Asia in its executive committee. Now if you will just see the executive committee of Interpol, it has 13 members from different countries, and it comprises the president of the Interpol, 2 vice presidents, and 9 delegates. This assembly, it was held in Istanbul. Now if you will just see the Inspector General Assembly, the Interpol General Assembly has also elected Ahmed Nasser Al-Rasisi of UAE as the organization's president for 4-year term. Now this is also important news. The Union Health Ministry has issued an alert related to a new COVID-19 variant which is called as 8.1.1529, and it has been reported in Botswana, South Africa and Hong Kong. Now why this variant is dangerous? Because it has very high number of म्यूटेशंस एंड वेरी सीरियस पब्लिक हेल्थ इम्प्लीकेशन. तो अब ये कहाँ पे मिल रहा है हमको? ये यहाँ पे हांगकांग, साउथ अफ्रीका और बोत्सवाना में मिल रहा है. दैट्स वाई द गवर्नमेंट हैज इशूड एन एडवाइजरी दैट ट्रैवलर्स कमिंग फ्रॉम साउथ अफ्रीका दे मस्ट बी स्क्रीन, एंड दोज हु टेस्ट पॉजिटिव मस्ट हैव देयर सैंपल सेंड टू INSAGO, which is a consortium of laboratories for testing the variants of corona. The next is about Vaccine Maitri. It is an initiative of the government to supply COVID-19 vaccines to different countries. So now India is willing to supply the COVID-19 vaccines to different countries under Vaccine Maitri. The next is about India flags raising bilateral issues at Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So India became, and Pakistan, they both became the member of Shanghai Cooperation Organization at Astana Summit in 2017. Okay, now there is one SCO charter of 2022 which calls for peaceful settlement of conflicts and disputes among the member states. But once the Pakistan became the member of SCO, it has always tried to raise the Kashmir issue in SCO, which goes against the SCO charter of 2002. So over here, when our External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, when he was delivering the speech at the 20th meeting of SCO Councils of Heads of Government, he criticized Pakistan and China and called for reform in multilateral institutions, including in WHO. He also raised the issue of a deliberate attempt of Pakistan to bring bilateral issues into SCO. The next is after Supreme Court's deadline, the Union Food Ministry headed by Shri Piyush Goyal, it has formed a group of 8 state food secretaries to create the framework for community kitchen scheme. Now this group, it will be headed by the Food Secretary of Madhya Pradesh, and it will also include Food Secretaries of Kerala, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Gujarat, Assam, Bihar and West Bengal. यहाँ पे एक जो important information है that which sustainable development goal relates with hunger. Okay, so it is about sustainable development goal 2. It relates with ending hunger. The sustainable development goal 3 relates with universal health care, and the sustainable development goal 4 relates with education. The next is better connectivity with Bangladesh. So Bangladesh is going to start Agartala Akhura railway link, which is going to boost the connectivity to Northeast India and as well as trade in the region. The next is about that UK France tension related to English Channel. So now France mein there are so many migrants who are put on the boat and then they are smuggled to United Kingdom. Now this French people they go to UK for better opportunities, and they already have family links and networks over there, and in the prospect of better life they always make a dangerous crossing from English Channel and they move to UK. Also the United Kingdom, according to France, the United Kingdom provides a very less hindrance to these migrant peoples to find work over there. So it has led to tension in the European continent, especially between the two important countries of Europe, and there has been a call for talks between the head of the two states. The next important news is that Russia puts into orbit classified military satellites. So Russia is building a system that is called a Kupol system. It is designed to detect launches of ballistic missiles and track them to their landing site. ये एक system है which will consist of satellite called as Tundra satellite. So Russia on Thursday successfully placed in orbit a small military satellite which is the part of Kremlin, means Russia's early warning anti-missile system. It was carried by Soyuz rocket, and this Kupol mission, it is Russia's missile warning system. The next is Hazara. So Hazara community in Afghanistan, they are Afghan Shia communities and they have always been persecuted by Sunni Islamists for centuries, but leaders of Afghan Shia Hazara community they have pledged their support for new Taliban rule. The next is China is non-committal on US oil release plan, OPEC plus unmoved. So we have already done this news a day before that US along with India, they and Japan, South Korea, they moved to release their strategic oil reserve so that the prices of oil reserves in the international market cools down. But China, which is the world's largest crude importer, it has been non-committal about its intention to release oil from its reserve on request from United States. And the second thing is that OPEC producers, they are not willing to change their tactics in the light of US action. So we will see that in the coming days the prices of crude oil will still remain high. Now the editorials. So over here this editorial is about the National Family Health Survey 5. So over here if you will just see that we have already discussed the TFR, which is 2 from 2.2. We have already studied about the sex ratio in the news, but if you will just see, there are some areas of concerns like the reduction in wasting and stunting. Okay, it is not sufficient. The second is the impact of pandemic is very dominant, and this disruption has caused unbalanced nutrition for children. Okay, then the inputs on marriage, fertility, family planning, access to education, health service, these which are provided by NFHS, are second only to the exhaustive data that is provided by the decadal centers. So over here states they need to treat it as a very important data, and then they should take the action and to remove the barriers to nutrition and other problematic areas in the health, especially related to non-communicable and lifestyle diseases, which is growing significantly in India. The second is about the setting the tone at Glasgow, the job ahead in Delhi. So it is this article is discussing that after declaring India's intention of going net zero by 2070, what option lies with India. So in this article, if you will just see that India has challenged the Western countries term of coal, that they wanted to phase out, they wanted to use the term phase out for coal, but China and India persisted on replacing that term with phase down. The second problem at the agreement was that nobody talked about the automobile emissions. Why? Because it is a defining feature of Western civilization. The whole focus was on coal, but countries like India and China, they still need coal because they have not reached the saturation level of their infrastructure need. Then the Prime Minister also highlighted the concept of climate justice, which is CBDR, common but differentiated responsibility. And Environment Minister Shri Bhupendra Yadav, he reminded that negotiating tax is not balanced as there is no advance on financial and other support from developed countries. Then over here India is still going to invest over here. So India, which is urbanizing, okay, and industrializing, it will move directly to electrification, renewable energy and electric vehicles and digital economy instead of internal combustion. So India will not be replacing the current system, but India will be making investment. Then the article calls for the West, they must definitely cut the consumption. At the same time, it focuses on giving two solutions to India. The first is related to consumption patterns, which needs to be shifted away from resource and carbon intensive goods and services like mobility from cars and aircraft to buses and trains, and nutrition from animal and processed food to seasonal plant based diet. The second thing is that we should reduce the demand, resource and carbon intensity of consumption has to be decreased. For this, we should expand renewable energy, electrifying cars and public transport, and we must increase energy and material efficiency. The next should be the focus should be on equitable distribution of wealth with minimum level of prosperity assured and affordable energy for all. The next is that work with parliament is important. So here this paragraph is the most important paragraph of this article. So after the Stockholm Declaration on the Global Environment in 1972, the Constitution was amended in 1976, and it included protection and improvement of environment as fundamental duty. The next, under Article 253, Parliament, it has the power to make laws for implementing international treaties and agreements, and hence Parliament has used this Article 253 to enact Environment Protection Act to implement the decisions reached at Stockholm Conference. Similarly, to implement the decisions of COP26, a new set of legislations will be required related to topics like ecological limits, energy and land use, and efficient distribution and use of electricity, urban design, and a statistical system which provides inputs for sustainable well-being. The next important is about the infographics, similarly related to National Family Health Survey, which was conducted between June 17, June 19 and January 30, 2020. So the data shows that the nutritional status of children has recorded a significant fall across many states. So if you will just see that even in Kerala, which topped Niti Aayog's Zero Hunger SDG index, the levels recorded in 2019-20 were lower than 2015-16 figures. But if we just see the phase 2 of NFHS, which was conducted between January 2, 2020 and April 30, 2021. The rest of the states, they show no such decline in nutritional status of children. Even if we talk about Jharkhand, which is at the bottom of the Zero Hunger SDG index, it has recorded dramatic improvements in nutritional levels. So that's all for today. We will meet tomorrow again with a daily Hindu analysis. Till then, have a nice day. Take care. Thank you.